Let's hope for the best this time, eh? Live for the second time. Live for the second time. Let's hope this one's working.
Live for the second
I think it is. I think that's it. I think the magic of YouTube should be able to have us on there now. People listen to me. I don't know if we're going to get any of the viewers back. I've still got to explain what this is all about, but it is going up afterwards as a video. We're going to try and keep it short and sweet. Not much longer, than half an hour. We're going to just try and answer some questions, batter through on all things Celtic. Whatever you want to hear about, you send it through. Now people can hear me. Things is working now. It's going well. I've not done a live stream in a long time, guys, so it's nice to see you. There was just not a lot to speak about in terms of a video. There wasn't a lot of topics. There wasn't a lot of, relevant things. I suppose when Yama's moved over to America, we play Livingston tonight. I don't really do the match previews for the league games because I feel like it's just repetition. So I just decided, you know what? Why don't I connect with the viewers? Why don't I do something with the viewers? We'll move on and try and answer some questions from you. Now, I did want to do a proper Q&A about myself at some point in the channel very soon, but we'll try and keep this one mostly football related, mostly Celtic related. So the people who don't watch this live can come back, watch the video, and actually hear my opinions on all things Celtic, stuff about the game tonight, stuff about Celtic's transfer business, stuff about, just that, other things, Edouard, Neil Lennon, everything football related, Celtic related. We'll try and cover as many things as possible going off the comment section that I see in the side. So a couple of shout outs. I mean, there's Padraig McFadden, a man who's been here for a very long time. Nice to see you again and recognise the name from the streams, of course. Lewis Galton, Chris McBride, Dark Chill, Stephen Duffy, Callum McGregor Enthusiast, the original gamer, Pablo67, Tony H. Shout out to everybody who has tuned in. That's just a few of the names. And as we keep going, I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. Now, it's been a long time since I've streamed, so this, I imagine, could be very fun. Everything's changed. It's not the same as it used to be. It used to be very different. It used to, be a lot more laid out and stuff like that. But now it looks all new and stuff. Nice. Anyway, so let's go. Fire in your questions about Celtic. We may as well get things started because, well, there's not going to be a lot of time spent in this if I want to upload it as a video. The lighting's a bit off as well, so it goes dodgy when you live stream. So the first thing to speak about, I guess, the Adidas kit deal. That is the main one. Roscoe 2048 saying it. Chris McBride also saying it. Dark Chills. Tots Celtic forever. There's a lot of things here about the Adidas kit deal. So obviously Celtic apparently on the verge, as we've kind of known for a while now, that we're on the verge of signing a new kit deal with Adidas, which will turn out to be the most lucrative kit deal in Scottish football history. A lot of money will be pumped into Celtic from Adidas to become the new shirt makers, and that's great to hear. Obviously, the contract expiring with New Balance this year after 4 or 5 seasons with them. Made some nice kits in that time, but now we move on. We move up to one of the biggest, sportswear companies in the world. I think it's only the third kit maker we've ever had. We went from Umbro to Nike to New Balance, so that'll be the fourth. This will be the fourth kit maker we've ever had at Celtic. So quite crazy that you think of a club of Celtic size that we had Umbro for like so long as our kit suppliers. So I'm looking forward to seeing these Adidas kits. I think they'll be nice, but I guess the main talking point from it all is the money that gets pumped into Celtic from it, and what that means for the club, and what it will allow us to do now moving forward into one of the most important seasons in the club's history, one of the most anticipated seasons over the decade, of course, as we've been chanting and singing our way to 10 in a row. Look, 9's pretty much done. For 10, we'll have a new kit. We'll be looking dapper. We'll be making money. I think it will add to the incentive of maybe paying players like Edouard to stay at the club next year, which is huge. That's what matters. We need to keep around those big players. We need to keep around the players who do make the biggest contributions, who are the ones that are winning us trophies, the ones getting the goals, keeping out the goals. All over the park, there are key influences. There's good players, but there's influences, people who can change the course of a game. One of those is Odsonne Edouard, and the money that we make from Adidas potentially here could help us pay a contract that will see him stay for the 10 in a row season. So this is massive for Celtic tonight. So you know what? Hopefully the deal is wrapped up soon. We'll get a kind of preview of the kits we can expect. I'm looking forward to seeing the new kits. Obviously a very exciting time when you get the new jerseys. what I'm looking forward to seeing is perhaps the possibility of a retro-esque kit. You know, Adidas this year have done a fantastic job at bringing out these retro-looking kits for teams like Arsenal and over in mainland Europe as well. A lot of teams getting them. They're really, really nice kind of throwback kits. Now, if we could have any throwback kits, similar to some of the greats we've had in the past, like the one I'm wearing just now, for example, that would be absolutely fantastic. My friend threw out an idea. It would be fantastic for the 10 in a row season if we had a kind of throwback to the kits that we wore when we stopped 10 in a row back in the 90s, because that was a great year for kits, one of the best seasons Celtic had for kits. So if we could have anything similar to those, that would be fantastic. Obviously, very different when you've got Adidas making your kits now, a number of making them in the late 90s. Will be big differences. But I know I'm looking forward to seeing this. Hopefully, it's another chapter of success for Celtic under a new kit maker. But I guess what matters more is the performances on the park. So that's my opinions on the Adidas. I could have made a video out of that, and I might do for people who don't tune into this. I understand it won't get as many views or whatever as perhaps the normal base videos would go. So anyway, keep firing your questions about Celtic. That's the first one covered, and we'll see what else it says. So shout out to a few people watching till I find a question. We've got Ben CB3, Stevie Boy 1988, Lee Wardhaw, I don't know if I pronounced that right, sorry if I haven't, Aidan, Leon Carty, Joe McGee, very, very big thank you to you for all tuning in so far. Let's see, what else is it? Let's see. Let's fly. The comments are flying. I can't keep up. The Mr. Boo. I don't know how that's maybe said. Well, Edouard go in the summer. I kind of covered this in the video that I made yesterday. If you've not listened, make sure and go and listen. It relates to the Talk Scottish Football podcast, which if you haven't already went subscribe to, make sure to do it. Just type it in the YouTube search bar. That's all you have to do. Talk Scottish Football. First result you'll find is me and my good mate David as we talk Scottish football, believe it or not, a lot about Scottish football. So make sure to head over there. In that video, I talk about how I think that that Odsonne Edouard will remain at Celtic next year. Now, look, if Celtic are offered big money, there's a chance we'll turn around and say, right, we can't deny this. You know what Peter Law's like. I'm not going to be surprised if he does leave. Honestly, a month or two ago, I would have told you I won't be here next year. We'll have to do something. But I have this slight feeling, there's a slight inkling towards that Edouard wants to be here for 10 in a row after how well this year has went. Now, you look after the Copenhagen game and perhaps you could turn around and say, well, he deserves better. He could do better in his career, win bigger awards and do better in Europe if he moves on from Celtic. But I think if Celtic throw the money at him and make this gentleman's agreement that has been spoke about by the French media to keep him at the club and then let him go in the summer of 2021, I don't see why Edouard would turn around and say no to that. I think he's doing fantastically here. It's not like he's stunting his development. Every game he gets a better player. It looks fantastic week in, week out, while getting better. And I think if he stays here 1 year longer, it's not going to do anything to hold him back. I think if he continues to just score goals, then his value will just keep going up and up and up, and his stock will go up. Teams all around Europe will be wanting a piece of him. So I think for him to stay here and for us to keep him, it works fantastically well for both parties. I would love the idea of him being here next year, because without him, I think we lose a massive influence in the game, as I already previously said. So I think Celtic should do everything, throw the money at him, pay him 50, 60 grand a week to keep him one more season. He's worth it. He's worth every single penny of that. Now, I understand we live in a reality where Peter Law does not want to pay players 40 or 50 grand a week. He's interested in making money for the club. So if we did get offered 40 or 50 million pounds, then perhaps he does have to move on. But do you know what? I would like to see Peter Law say no. 10 in a row, that to the fans is worth every penny, and it's worth more than me selling off a player who could help guarantee that possibility. Hopefully that's the way it gets looked at by Peter Law and the rest of the Celtic board and Neil Lennon, and hopefully they'll convince him to stay on a bit longer. But we can only wait and see what happens. We'll see. Depends who all comes in. I mean, someone could come in for Edouard. Edouard says, I need to go here. That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You know, he might see a move to somewhere down in England that he will never have again. So we'll need to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. That's the second question. All well and done with. There's so many questions flying in. There's the channel there in the chat, lads. Talk Scottish Football, as I just previously mentioned 5 minutes ago on the stream. I don't know if there's a way for me to, I'm going to make him a moderator. Go and subscribe to the channel. Honestly, some great chat. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible. We've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of series ideas going around our head as well. We talk about stuff like this on the podcast constantly. We're trying to get you guys involved as well at some point down the road, by maybe, other things and other videos. We're already answering you guys' questions in the stream and stuff. So, aye, sing us a song, Ryan, says Tam PDV. What do you want me to sing? Let me know and we'll think about it. Aye, let's see. What else is there? Do you think Celtic should focus more on Europe after 10 in a row, says Celtic Glasgow 1888? Look, I think realistically, Celtic's dreams of European glory will always remain the same level from now until there's a drastic change in the landscape of football. Until Scottish teams, until teams like Celtic and Rangers are making enough money to compete with the teams in Europe, the elite, the ones who are winning these competitions, even when you look at the teams competing for the Europa League, Inter Milan, Man United, Wolverhampton, all these teams make far more money than what Celtic can ever imagine in a season. And yes, I would love the club to be ambitious and try their best to go for it and go for European football. But look, the reality is keep dominating Scottish football. European football, I'd love to see us get better in, but there's only so much we can do with the limitations within the game nowadays. So I would love us. I would love us to go forward and make strides in Europe after we win 10 in a row. I guess after we win 10 in a row, we've not got much to lose, but there's no reason why we should take our foot off the gas in domestic football. I think we should easily still remain the best team in Scotland with the resources behind us and the way things are going on the other side of the city. So I don't want to see us take our foot off the gas exactly. Yes, it would be nice for us to go and do better in Europe, but there is only so much you can do. There's only so much Neil Lennon can do with that side. Look, we had a fantastic chance to get to the last 16, the best chance we're probably going to have, and we bottled it. So by all means, yes, we should be trying to build on that. But look, if we're winning trophies, if we're winning trebles, I'm not going to complain. I'll be a happy lad, and I think everybody else will be. But it would be nice to see things improve within European football. I seen someone ask, and I can't find their name now. Someone asked, is Kevin Nisbet coming to Celtic in the summer? Dave, if you're still watching, look, I'll try and get Peter not to do it for you. Let him stay at Dunfermline. Let him stay at Dunfermline. As for David, of course, a Dunfermline fan, if you do watch the podcast. How many signings are we needing in the summer, says Conrad 1888. As of now, a centre-half would be nice. We need to bring in a permanent goalkeeper. Get Fraser Forster signed up in a permanent deal or find someone of a similar or better quality. Even that might be really hard, even though that sounds unrealistic. We need to try and hopefully bring in a player like El Yunusi as a permanent deal as well, another winger to add depth there. Like the way things are going, you don't think we need that. I don't think we need too much more. If you look at how we've played from the January window after we all had this meltdown in January, it was a shocking transfer window. Look, we have been battering teams in the league. We'll lose players on loan. We've got a lot of young guys coming up through the squad as well. I don't think we need too many, but it would be nice to bring in, El Yunusi and Forster on permanent deals, or players in the same position, and then another centre half, because I think Simunovic isn't reliable enough to be a week in, week out centre half unless there's a drastic improvement in his game. But with his injury record as well, we're going to need to sort it out with more centre half options. Matthew Duff asking, when are you leaving for Livi, Ryan? I'll be leaving in about, I don't know, half an hour. Not for Livi, I'll be going to the pub in half an hour. Get a couple of jars. Look forward to my second Bovril of my existence. I'm looking forward to that. Aye. Talk Scottish football saying Kevin Nisbet leaving in the summer will leave Ryan with a broken co-host on the podcast. That is true. I don't think the podcast would ever remain the same, especially if Celtic signed them, because then David's joy would transfer to my joy, and I would just leave David a shell of a man, really. And me, I'd be jubilant. I'd be happy constantly. Well, but it would be great. Nah, we don't need this, but we don't. Let him go and get his Dundee United move. That's what David wants to hear, I suppose. Let's see. Who do I want as next captain? I've said that a few times. Levi Hanratty. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it, mate. I'm so sorry. Levi, maybe. Levy. I don't know. I'm going to go with Levy. Asking who do I want as the next captain? Like, for me, it's very simple, and it's been very simple for the last 2 or 3 years, and that's Callum McGregor. I think he's got all the makings of a Celtic captain. I think that he has been the natural fit for that role, even when Kieran Tierney was here. I always said I think McGregor would make the better captain. And that's not just because Tierney's left now. I'm not trying to be sour about Kieran Tierney leaving and giving it all that part. I genuinely do believe that when both of them were at the club, I thought McGregor would make a better captain. I think he just kind of fits into the role. There's plenty of people in the team who could be a future captain at Celtic. There is. I think, though, that McGregor's played alongside Brown for that long, that the personality has and will continue to rub off on him. I think he gets it. He's a Celtic boy. He loves the club. He's played here for what now, 7 to 8 years in the first team, and he's been over the past 3 years our most consistent player. Now, I'm not one of the ones that are on the side of the argument that you just give the captaincy to your best player, like you see stuff happen with Harry Kane. But no, he's just got all the right traits, the right personality. He gets stuck in. He works hard. He's not a lazy person at any game, no matter who you're playing. You could be playing Queen of the South, or you could be playing Barcelona. You're going to get 100% out of Cal McGregor. And for me, that is why he is the man that gets the armband next. I guess there's a lot of people who think maybe Ayer could grow into being a captain with the passion he shows in the park. And a lot of people who did think Tierney would have been the option back then, obviously gone now. There's players who will come up through the team and show that they have, that kind of personality to be a captain. But for me, he's the obvious one. People saying Julian as well in the chat. I can understand. Big Julian will be a shout as well. But someone talking about the big bus as well. See you soon. Let's see. Will Brown be there after 10 in a row? Says once again, it's the Irish names. I can never pronounce them. Walsh. Because that looks like Roshin without an R to me. So I kind of want to say Ocean, but I don't believe it's Owen, innit? Is it Owen? It might be Owen. I think it is Owen. I'm not right. Owen Walsh, I'm going to go with. Will Brown be there after 10? I think he will be, yes. If not as a player, definitely as a role in the coaching staff or something. I think he'll be there, but not a starter. After the 10 in a row, I think Brown will remain a player, and that'll be when we start to see the kind of exit from the Celtic squad for him. And then he'll start to transition into that kind of coach role. There's no doubt he'll stay on at Celtic after he retires as a coach. There's no way Peter Law won't turn around to him or Neil Lennon or whoever's in charge of that kind of situation. I don't feel like they're going to turn around and say, we don't want you as a coach here. They will definitely bring him up through Celtic's coaching system, get him his badges. He's an asset. He's a Celtic legend. That's what he is. He's genuinely a modern day great. He is your Billy McNeil. He is your Paul McStay. He's your Henrik Larsson. All these generational players who stand out for people. Scott Brown is my Paul McStay. That's how I've always looked at it. People who grew up in the 80s and 90s and were my age when McStay was playing. That's who they turn to. For me, I'll grow up saying the same thing about Scott Brown. So he'll stay here, absolutely. He'll be here after 10 in some way. Score prediction for tonight's game. Let's get on to that, because tonight's game is coming up. I said I'm only going to do this for about half an hour at most. That's from the Dugout Football channel. He's asking my predictions tonight. Look, we go here having to avenge what was a shock result early in the season. A result which, raised a lot of eyebrows, asked a lot of questions of Celtic's mentality to go on and win the title this season, and asked a lot of questions if this was Rangers' year. But from there on, we've kicked on. We've only lost once since, and that was at Celtic Park to Rangers, of course. But we've been fantastic, and especially after the winter break, of course. I don't need to explain myself for that. We all know the form Celtic have been in as of recent. It's been absolutely tremendous. The only disappointment being that European exit. But can't take any away from Livingston, because from that game, I did come out of that game saying the Livingston bubble will burst. They will go back into the bottom half. They're not. They're still in the top half. They're a team that could easily fight for the place of third. They're a strong side. Gary Holt has been absolutely tremendous. They know how to set up. They know how to make things difficult for Celtic. Julian last time really struggled up against Lyndon Dykes. They've got players all over the park who are going to be a difficult task for Celtic to break down and handle. They've got big men everywhere. Effie Ambrose now in at the back there, which is an added bonus for them. Got big Marvin Bartley in the middle. We've got big Lyndon Dykes up front, Lawless out wide. Players all over the park that will make things tricky tonight for Celtic. But I do think we'll avenge our loss. I think we'll learn from our mistakes of last time. I think now we're in a far more serious position, whereas we want to get this title wrapped up. We want to, state our authority within the league, show that we are the best. And I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything. I don't think we're going to go over here and score 3-4 goals or something, which we've been doing in the league an awful lot recently. I think that, they'll sit back, they'll play tight, they'll make life difficult for us, they'll drain the life out the game. This is going to be a bitter watch. It's going to be a horrid game. I can just see, especially on the surface as well. We can't just overlook the fact that we're playing on a plastic surface tonight. It's something that does hinder Celtic. It doesn't allow them to play the best sort of football that we'd like to, our favoured style. It does make you change up the game. It forces you into making those changes. So Livingston will make it tough for us tonight. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win for Celtic. I think we'll dominate the game. I think we'll have the ball for the majority of it. I think we'll have the better chances, but I don't see us scoring a lot of goals. I don't see Livingston scoring any goals. So, I think we will win. I think we will get a win tonight, and just continue on our league dominance. Talk Scottish Football just to add into that the podcast, saying, would Celtic fans take a draw tonight, or is it win at all costs to finally seal the title? Look, my opinion has been clear as day for the past 4 or 5 weeks. The title is over. There is no recovery now for Rangers. I said it. I made a video saying it after Rangers lost to Kilmarnock or whatever game it was. I came out and I blatantly said that the title's done. I wouldn't like to take a draw tonight, but if we draw, I don't think it makes a massive difference. Livi could potentially walk out with a draw. They're that sort of team. They could walk out with a win. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But look, we want to win every game. I don't think any Celtic fan would want to take a draw, but it wouldn't be the end of the world, is what I'm trying to say. So that's my views on the game tonight. I think Celtic will win. I think we'll revert back to the normal 3-5-2 as well, what has been the norm over the past few weeks. I don't see why we wouldn't play the 3-5-2. Get Griffiths and Edouard up front again. I'd love to see Kamal or something get a chance, so I really would. I just think that, he's came in, we spent a bit of money on him. He looks like he's hungry. I like the guy. Obviously met him as well. And I really want to see him get a chance, but it doesn't look as though he's getting it, because when we do make a change and we do bring off someone like Griffiths, we end up bringing on a kind of attacking midfielder. We bring on a Rogic, we bring on a Christie, we maybe bring on El Yunusi. We don't tend to, and Bayou's even getting ahead of him. So, I'd like to see Kamal get a chance. I think we're going to be waiting a while. But Ryan, sing his American Pie, says Connor 1888. Maybe next time. I've hurt the nerves. I'm trying to save myself. Hopefully there's karaoke on the pub tonight, I've been chanting enough at the game. Anyway, more questions about Celtic. Feel free to fire in. Someone asking what's happening with Patrick Klimala, Scottish FM ref, saying that. Don't know what's happening. We'll just need to wait and see. There's the podcast kicking off for us. David's kicking off for us a long, long time ago. I can still remember. That was a bit of go for it there. Are you going to the game, Ryan? I'm a Livi fan. I think it will be a really tough game. Really tough game with Willie Collum as the ref. 2 says, Dougie, I'm going to the game. That's right. I will be there. Hopefully I'll be bothered on a pie. I don't know where I'm sitting, though. Matthew, I see Matthew. I really don't know. I've got my ticket somewhere. But I'll be there. Hopefully leaving as happy as I'll be going in. Probably have a wee drink in me. So if you see me and I'm starting about, that's the reason. Frimpong Oriel Ahmed says Dara McDermott. And all the Irish names, man. I can never do it. I really should be able to, but I can't. Frimpong Oriel Ahmed, obviously we've not seen El Ahmed in a long time now, but I'm going to stick with El Ahmed. I think he looked like a cracking player, a quality player when he was in the Celtic side. And, I was buzzing with how well he was, because I never had much faith in the signing of Hatem Abdel Ahmed, and he just looked great. So for me, it's got to be him. I do love me Frimpong. I think he's really hungry. I think he looks great. But El Ahmed for me is a defender, and that's what Celtic need more of. We've got plenty of attackers. Frimpong needs to work on that defensive ability. Talk Scottish Football saying, answer the Mr. Muse question. The poor lad's been asked for ages. I can't see it. We'll need to keep firing it in. If we can't get Forster, who will we get? Is that the question? Is that the one? Aye, it must be. Look, I don't know who we get. Celtic's the kind of club that you can't really go out and say, here's to sign, because we sign our players from nowhere. Who heard of Patrick Klimala? Who heard of Ismail Assoro? Who heard of Hatem Abdel Ahmed? Who even heard of Jeremy Frimpong and the likes of Leo Connor? No one. It's really hard to go and pinpoint a player that Celtic should sign. So if we don't sign Forster, I don't know who we turn to. There's no one really in the Scottish Premiership that I look at and go, bring them in. There's no one really there. As long as Scott Payne's not the starting keeper, there's not a lot of players even down south that I can think of on the top of my head, and obviously my scouting range outside of Britain isn't very vast when it comes to goalkeeping, especially. So don't know. Just need to wait and see. Here's a topical question. Scottish FM ref saying, what are your thoughts on the coronavirus and the whole thing, no handshakes, and potentially people are saying perhaps the season might be played behind closed doors until the thing calms down. Look, it's a cold. Let's all calm down, right? If we get it, we get it. If there's a 94-year-old woman or something just beat it the other day, I think it'll be fine. I can understand the precautions, no shaking the hands and that, but God forbid, it seems like it is a serious matter, but aye. Declan Boyce saying, how'd you like Driftwood at the weekend? That was no bad until we got told to get away from the table because it was reserved. I'm a celebrity. Let me have it. I'm joking. I'm not big-headed like that. Please, never think I'm like that. If you've met me, you'll know that. You know, I don't think of myself like that. Rab Douglas for the new Celtic keeper? Perhaps. But maybe. Eddie Bradley saying thoughts on the David Turnbull article, not being able to handle people coming up to him on holiday. I've not seen the article. I know the story. I remember hearing it, but I guess this is something I do want to touch on, though. David Turnbull, obviously back from injury now. Should Celtic go back to him? I seen someone asking about that earlier. Look, he's got to play football first. We've got to see if he'd be worth it. We don't know if he's going to be the same as what he was before he went under this surgery. Plus, I wasn't too keen on the signing in the first place. If you remember rightly, I came on the channel, I said, it's a bonus, but where's he fit in? You know, what's he doing? He's not going to replace McGregor, he's not going to replace Chaz, he's not going to replace Christie, he's not even going to get in a Rogic in my eyes. No denying he's a fantastic young player, he's good, homegrown. Looks like a really promising player, and we were willing to spend the money on him. He was sitting in the Celtic jersey, and then it just kind of fell apart. Look, I don't think we should go back in for him as of yet. Why jump right into it? It's just one of those ones. Like, we need to wait and see. It's hard to say right now, but good to see his career back in track, I suppose. Someone's saying, Paul McCarroll saying, I would bring in Dean Henderson on loan. Absolutely solid. I mean, I would bite the hand off you for it. I would. Dean Henderson in any way for loan or transfer. It's not going to happen. He's going to probably go back to Man United and probably has a shout to be Man United's first team keeper if David De Gea doesn't buck up his ideas. So Callum saying, bring back David Marshall to replace Craig Gordon? Nah, I don't think Marshall's the answer. I wouldn't bring him back. I'm not the biggest of David Marshall fans in the modern age. I loved him, don't get me wrong, throughout his career, but now I wouldn't bring him back to Celtic. I don't think he's the same quality as what he once was. I know David might disagree with that. If you're watching Dave, you're a big David Marshall fan. But nah, I just don't. I wouldn't see him. Would you like to see El Yunusi signed up permanent? And if you've what you looked at, let's ask with Ross Duffy. Like, I would love to bring in El Yunusi permanent as long as he tries to pick up the run of form he had before he went out injury. There's no denying he has the quality there, the potential to be a big player for Celtic. So I'd love to bring him in permanently if possible. Right, we'll go for 3 more questions. We're 27 minutes in. The people who have been watching, just quickly fire through some names. Chris McBride, Joseph Coyle, Logan Hanna, Silver S 1978, Gav 1000, Ram 67512, Luke Prendy, Talk Scottish Football, go subscribe. Chris Milford, thank you all for tuning in. We'll go through 3 more questions. We'll get through 3 more before the end of the stream, and then it will be uploaded afterwards. And if you want to see more of this, fire it in. Oh, we've got a tip of 80 pence from Matthew Duff. That's how much towards a pint tonight? Nearly a third of a pint. It's only £3 at this pub, so thank you. You've paid for a third of my pint. Right, thank you very much, Matthew. That's very much appreciated. Oh, he's looking at it as half a bottle. Well, me as an alcoholic, I'm not an alcoholic, but me as a man of the tenants looks at it as a third of a pint. So thank you very much. 3 more questions, though, we'll fire through. If you do want to see this more often, please let me know. Say it in over here in the comments, wherever it is. I don't know where it is on your screen, to be honest. Right, 3 more questions. Let's see. How much would you let go of James Forrest for, says Roddy Wells? Now, that's quite an odd question, because I don't think James Forrest is a player who'll ever leave Celtic now. I think he's beyond that in his career. I think it's Scottish FM now. Well, did you say £3 for a drink? I love how that's the question. Aye. So, James Forrest. Well, look, he's at the point in his career now. He's not going to leave Celtic. I think if he was to leave Celtic at any point, it would be because he's done in the team. His first team run is finished. He's not getting a look in. He's maybe getting a bit of, oh my God, oh my, there's a £5 tip for Callum. There's a pint. Hey, get a job. Actually, the donations go towards YouTube equipment. I'm trying to save up for a camera. I'm not just using your money to fuel my fucking enjoyment. Don't worry. I love how you've said enjoy a pint on me, though. Thank you very much, Callum. It is appreciated. Can I just reiterate, though, the money does go towards the YouTube budget. It goes towards paying for the softwares, blah, 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 blah. I use my own money for alcohol. But thank you very much, Callum. I don't think Forrest would leave, but if I was to let him go, I'd be expecting at least, I don't know, £8-9 million. I think he's probably past his best. He's too inconsistent to get a higher price for that. If that was a fee that was given to us, would I accept it? I maybe would. I think we could maybe find someone else. I do like James Forrest, but he's getting older, maybe a bit too inconsistent nowadays. I don't know. Aye, there we go. That's James Forrest. A couple more questions. Let's see what else can we say. Anytime, mate. Hope it helps the podcast too. That's right, Cal. I mean, thank you very much. Whatever camera I get for this will also be used for the podcast. It does go towards helping the podcast. Hopefully the podcast quality will go through the roof whenever we get a camera and stuff. David will be sitting there agreeing with me, I imagine, unless he has no ambition. But I don't think that is the case. Do you think we'll win the quadruple treble? There is one of the questions that I'm meant to answer on this stream. The second of the final three questions. Look, I think we will win the quadruple treble. I'm not going to come out and say it's a done deal. I'm not going to come out and say it's guaranteed. I still think there's work to be done. You've got a big game against Aberdeen, then a potential cup final against a Hearts team who tend to turn up in big games by the looks of it, or a Hibs side who have been very emphatic as of recent. It's not going to be easy, but I think that, we put our full concentration levels up. There's no way anyone can beat us. I think we are by far the best team in the country. We should be winning the treble now that the main opposition has been eliminated from it. But there are tough teams. We've got to respect the opponents that are left. I mean, Aberdeen's going to be a tough test before we even get to the final. So we've got to think about it a game at a time. The league's done in my eyes. The Scottish Cup's the only one. Our record at Hampden and our record in cup competition has been, outstanding. 34 games in the bounce now. I think that the quadruple treble is a very realistic possibility. Very historic if it gets done. I mean, the double and treble were very historic, but a quadruple is just, that would be madness. That would be crazy. And let's see, one more question. Scott talks Scottish football. Final question, Ryan. How many tins could a tin man tan if a tin man could tan tans? Damn it! Let's go answer a proper question. Apparently, I'm trying to get reconnected. It says my connection is unstable. There we go. Apparently, it's stable again. Right, final question. Let's go. Why do you think we don't turn up in the massive games and we are favourites for, i.e. the Old Firm Cup finals last Thursday? That's a question asked by Prendy. This season hasn't been great for the big games. Obviously, the two Old Firms that we had, we were under the cosh. When we were beaten in, we managed to work away with a cup in the other somehow. We knocked out of Europe on Thursday night horrendously. It's a bit weird. I think we do turn up in the big games because if you look at our Europa League group record, it was fantastic. Look at what we've done to Lazio, for example. But I do completely understand the question. I understand the point it's trying to come across. I think tactically we've just went into the games all wrong. I think we've been a bit complacent, maybe a bit overconfident. I think that the team and the fans have expected to stroll the game, especially against Rangers, and that's just not happened. So, there's only so much you can do. The players in the park have got as much a responsibility as Neil Lennon. Maybe it is the setup. Maybe it's the work ethic. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint. But I guess what will be really exciting to see is how this new tactic works against Rangers when we played them now only 2 weeks. I mean, all I can say is watch my match review. I kind of summed up my feelings there, even though I was half cut. But, that's about it. So that does it. 35 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Let me know if you do want to see more of these. It will be uploaded as a video as well, in case you did miss out. So if you are watching, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that. Everybody, I really do appreciate you coming along. It's been good. I enjoy doing these live streams. If I wasn't going to the game tonight, then I'd probably sit on for longer, but I'm going to the pub in about 25 minutes or something, so need to get my arse in gear, as they would say. So enjoy your night, everybody. Hopefully Celtic win. Telling you, 1-0 Celtic is what's going to finish tonight. And it's going to be a Ryan Christie goal. Right, okay. Awkward bit where I've got to press end stream. Subscribe to the podcast channel also. See you all next time. Right, this is the awkward bit. Then